Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. So once again, I'm still going to have to apologise that if my voice sounds a little bit strange, it's because I'm still a little bit under the weather. So I do apologise if my voice kind of, grates on you throughout this video. I am genuinely really sorry about that. So let's actually get on to the topic of today's video, and this is something that I've kind of touched on myself, as well as I've seen a ton of comments regarding this whole situation, and that is engine swaps. Now I think we all know at this point engine swaps are a pretty controversial thing within Gran Turismo 7. The fact that the majority of the time they're pretty much luck based, and the fact that you have no choice over what engine swaps to pick is a very divisive subject. I've seen some people back the current system that we have, which is very much RNG based. It's all kind of luck and just luck of the draw, and then there's others that completely despise this system. Now for me personally, I'm on the side of I do not like this system one bit. I think it's very, kind of too much based towards the luck and RNG side of the game, and it doesn't really make sense. There's people that have played this game for, 4 or 5 months and still never ever received a single engine swap. Apart from a few guaranteed tickets through some of the menu books and such, outside of that, your chances of actually getting an engine swap are very, very slim. So before we get into the actual discussion part of this video, I thought I'd do a little bit of a game where I go through the list of all engine swaps that are currently within Gran Turismo 7, and we see how many you actually knew were in the game and how many of these you actually own. So I'll go in alphabetical order. So let's start with Audi. We have the Audi R8 4.2 engine, and then we have the Audi S1 Quattro Pikes Peak engine. From BMW, we have the BMW Z4 GT3. From Corvette, we have the C6 ZR1 engine, the C7 Stingray engine, the Camaro ZL1 engine, the Corvette C7 ZR1 engine, and then from Dodge, we have the Hellcat Charger engine, so that's the SRT Hellcat engine. From Ferrari, we have the 458 Italia engine and the Enzo engine. From Ford, we have the Ford Mustang GT15 engine. Then we have the Ford GT LM Spec 2 test car engine. We also have the Ford Mustang Shelby GT350R engine. From Honda, we have the Honda NSX GT500 engine and the Honda Civic Type R 2020 engine. From Lamborghini, we have the Lamborghini Aventador engine. From Lexus, we have the SC430 GT500 engine. Mazda, we have the RX-7 FD engine and the 787B. From Nissan, we have the Silvia S15, the GTR Nismo GT500, the Nissan GTR Nismo from 2017. From Porsche, we have the 911 RSR engine. And then we also have some ones that are present in the trailers, but are not currently present within the game, as far as I know. That being the 911 997 GT3 engine. Then from Porsche, we have the 911 964 Carrera RS engine. From Roadster Shop, we obviously have the Rampage engine. From Subaru, we have the BRZ Drift engine. From Suzuki, we have the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak engine. And from Toyota, we have the 2JZ GTE, basically the 2JZ, the Supra engine. So I believe that is every single engine swap which is currently within GT7, including the one that was shown in the trailer, but I believe has still not come around to the game at this point. In fact, I believe that engine that was in the trailer was the one that went in the Beetle, if I remember, in the whole customization trailer. That's currently not in the game. Don't know if it ever will come back in the game. I just know it was kind of there in the trailers, and I very fondly remember that Beetle kind of getting all those modifications and racing around and such, and I believe that's exactly where that one comes from. So hopefully my notes aren't wrong and I've actually managed to pretty much list them all. If I have missed any, just let me know, but I believe that's every single one of them. So let me know, how many of them did you even know was in the game, and how many of them do you even own within GT7? Because if you're kind of a player that wasn't around when the engine swap glitch was around, I can guarantee your engine swap list will be pretty slim. I believe players that even got involved in the kind of whole engine swap glitch days will probably be lacking quite a few of those more updated engine swaps, the one that have, you know, kind of came along since. And, you know, it's a little bit of a strange one. So you can actually, and I feel like a lot of people don't actually know this, get engine swap tickets on your daily marathon. So you can get a ticket that is just purely dedicated to engine swaps just by doing your mileage. So there is a few ways to get them. However, in nearly a whole year of playing GT7, the amount of times I've actually had one of them is once. So the other ways of unlocking engine swap tickets are through normal roulette spins. As you can see, we've got one on the kind of, you know, spin here. Obviously, we're not going to get it, but they do appear through there, and you very, very rarely will unlock one. The other kind of guaranteed ways to get them is through doing some of the extra menus. I believe a couple of them have engine swap tickets tied to them, as well as some of the actual kind of extra cafe menus. They seem to have engine swap tickets tied to them as well. They're the only real guaranteed ways of getting them. Now this also brings me on to another couple of points. We obviously have a price tied to each of the engine swaps, how much they're worth. Now I don't know if this is exact in terms of carrying over to the used car sales, so I can kind of see it making sense there. If you want to sell, you know, let's say a 787 Bead RX-7, that the engine is say worth $1 million, that it'd actually go for that price. I believe it actually doesn't. In fact, I don't think it even near touches that. So there is an actual price tied to them. Now this brings me on to the point of, why can we not go through and actually buy these engine swaps? And I feel like this is a way of kind of opening up more of the game. The fact that engine swaps are in the game does actually provide some very interesting builds and kind of ideas in terms of the cars. In fact, there'll be cars in the game that you may not even look at twice, that as soon as you've got an engine swap, they become a whole different beast. In fact, one of those cars for me was one of the older M3 models that we can put the Z4 engine in, the GT3 model. This essentially allows you to take a road-going car and pretty much build it into a full-blown kind of classic GT3 machine. It's really actually impressive, and some of the builds that you can come up with are absolutely amazing. Another one that you've been seeing in the background is my Lamborghini engine swap. So this is a 25th anniversary Countach, and it's running the Aventador engine, and I've pretty much built it into a full-blown classic race car. It really does open up so much potential in the game, and I feel like a bunch of people are just missing out really on the full game, myself included. There's an engine swap I've been after personally since the game, since it actually launched into the game, which is the Escudo Pikes Peak. This goes, I believe, in the Evo 10, and there's people with quite a few of them, but they've kind of got nowhere else to put them. You know, it just goes in one car, so most people have a few spares. And this kind of brings me on to the idea, if they've kind of got the used car dealer working so well, why is there no way to kind of sell our cars onto, or engines should I say, or maybe even special parts, onto a bit of a tuning store where essentially you just list them up and other players can go ahead and buy them. If not, maybe just do it through the actual in-game kind of tuning shop. So if a car has an engine swap available, list it as a new engine section and then the engine swap section. For me, this will just make the game massively more replayable and just open up, you know, opportunities to pretty much everyone, and that's really the way it should be. It's all good saying yes, they should be exclusive, but the fact is they're not really exclusive, they're luck based. For me, exclusivity should really work this way. So let's say we take the idea of you can now buy engine swaps, but you have to do a certain amount of mileage in that car or use it for a certain amount of miles to, you know, be able to unlock the engine swap. For me, that would make sense. You're being rewarded for actually putting that time into the car by being able to purchase that engine swap. Not only do you kind of then get to see the car in a whole different light, but it also gives you a bit of a goal to work towards. It's not luck based, it's not really just kind of in there and anyone can go and buy it. You know, you actually have to put the time in to be able to unlock that engine swap, and it just keeps a player feeling rewarded. In fact, gaming works in a way of where if a player feels they're being rewarded for doing well and, you know, actually beating targets and such, you can guarantee they're going to stick around. And I feel just opening up this feature to the entirety of the GT7 community to give everyone a way to maybe tune specific cars they want to would really kind of help to, you know, giving this game a bit of extra life, as well as maybe, you know, like I said, make them hard to get. Not necessarily stupidly hard, but make people earn them, make people work towards them, or just make them buyable in general. Open up the game to a wider audience. Like I said, when I went through that list, I was looking at some of them engine swaps and not even really recognizing, you know, quite a few of them. Obviously there is the kind of main ones that's been around a while, but I feel like this is a must-do thing. It seems very weird that they've all got prices tied to them if we can't then go and buy them. You know, take away the look aspect and make it a reward, or a kind of, you know, you've put the time in this game kind of aspect, you've earned that money, or whatever really, and just, you know, be able to reward players by buying engine swaps. You know, let them get more out of these cars that they might love, or let them use these engines that they really want to use. Do this, Polyphony, and I can guarantee the longevity of the game and the kind of overall opinion of the fan base will be completely different. Now, I know there's going to be people that turn around and say, no, it should be exclusive, but at the end of the day, you're just wrong. There's a difference between being exclusive and being rewarded to, you know, complete luck and randomness, and that's never going to be fun. In fact, the engine swap debate is one of the most kind of seen things I see within my comments section, and I see it all over in terms of, you know, when I go and look at engine swap gameplay of maybe engines I haven't got, of people saying, you know, why can't we buy these? Why can't we all access this feature? I mean, we've paid full price for the game, so give us access. You know, if you look at other games, you know, let's use maybe Forza, Need for Speed. Yes, they're, you know, maybe a bit more arcadey and such, but the fact that you can engine swap almost anything in that game, whereas in GT7 it's very kind of limited on the swap side. So, you know, why have a limited roster if you're just going to hide the majority of them away? It just feels very, very kind of behind the curve and behind the trend. Sometimes you've just got to do what your competitors are doing, and trust me, your fans will follow. So that's going to be it for today's video. I just thought I'd kind of speak about the engine swap thing in more detail. I feel like when I'm doing my wish list, I don't really get to, you know, sound off as much as I want to. I do thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about engine swaps in general. Is it a good system? Is it a bad system? Do they need to change it up? What way would you go about implementing it in the game so that people could, you know, experience more of the game that we've paid full price for? So that's going to be it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications on so you don't miss an upload from myself. I upload GT7 and racing content each and every day. I have my Twitter, my Discord, and my donation link down in the description down below. Thank you so much to the controller people for supporting me recently, as well as Poggers, my latest sponsor that's jumped on board this channel. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, peace.